qualified the
Hello viewers out there, you're welcome once again to Sports Orbit. My name is Apacho. Salud Usman is also in the studio with Telugu. Welcome to Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Ashu.
Alright, on today's edition of the program, we'll begin from the AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Draws happened this afternoon, and Nigeria has been drawn alongside Benin Republic and Rwanda, including Libya in this also in the same group. Well, that's in Group D. For the other groups, Group A has the likes of Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and the Gambia. While in Group B, we have Morocco, Gabon, Central African Republic, and Lesotho. Group C has Egypt, Cape Verde, Mauritania, and Botswana. Like I said, Group D, Nigeria, Benin Republic, Libya, and Rwanda. Group E, Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, and Liberia. While Group F has the likes of Ghana, Angola, Sudan, and Niger Republic. In Group G, it's Cote d'Ivoire, Zambia, Sierra Leone, and Chad, while Group H has DR Congo, Guinea, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. Group I is Mali, Mozambique, Guinea, Bissau, and Eswatini. Group J, Cameroon, Namibia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. Group K has South Africa, Uganda, Congo, and South Sudan, while the last group has the likes of Senegal, Burkina Faso, Malawi, and Burundi. So looking at this group, well, I think there's no group here that you can actually say is the group of death, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's not any group you can see as a group of them, but it might be if you're looking at the last group L.
Yeah.
I think it's more tougher. It's more tougher in the sense that Senegal, well, you can say Senegal, we can fast their way to progress. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Burundi are also
No, Malawi rather, which Malawi, not Mali,
Malawi and
Burundi,
Burundi. They are all they were at the last. Burundi was at the last at the previous editions in Cameroon, while Malawi was at the last one. So definitely, all of them has a relative chances of also wanted to progress to the next round or progress to the next Africa Cup of Nations. But looking at the Nigerian group. Looking at the recent scenarios and what we have and the condition we found ourselves at the moment in the World Cup qualifier, so I can't easily say it's an easy group because you see where we find ourselves in the World Cup qualifier in the group that house South Africa, Rwanda, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and Benin Republic, and we are finding it difficult to make out of the group. Currently, we are fifth. Fifth on the group with South Africa ahead of us, Rwanda ahead of us, Mali ahead, Benin Republic ahead of us. So because of that experience, I can't really say it's an easy group for Nigeria because there's no any easy group for Nigeria anymore. We are no longer a powerhouse in Africa where we used to be. Where we can close our eye and it's a done deal for us to qualify. But it is also an opportunity for Super Eagles to avenge their angers against the Benin Republic if they really feel they are angry with that defeat to Benin Republic. But it's an opportunity to tell Benin Republic that no, we are not mate. And obviously let's see how it's going. But still, our own conditions, our difficulties are not that we don't have the players and the machinery, the personnel to execute or to play. Looking at the individual players we have, Nigeria can still be a force to reckon. But our problem is the organization. And they work in the organization. When I say what I mean by the organization is that you need to form a team, but we are finding difficult to form a team to play. Up till now, we don't. Super Eagles have no coach. Up till now, not just a coach. They don't even have any. They don't have any technical personnel to lead anything. Either you can see in the absence of a coach, lead his team, take out the team for the qualifier. The World Africa Cup, this particular qualifier is going to start in September. September, October, November. We are talking of September. We are just less than 2 months away to September. And as the moment after Philippe just regained his position, after the not impressive performance against South Africa and Benin Republic, now it's over almost a month now. Exactly. Yet Philippe the joyful result has moved up. But the Nigerian Football Federation are here to decide who is the next coach of the Super League. Are here to hire in another new coach for the Super League. So a team that without a coach, how will we go into the qualifier? So these are always approach. Not that we don't have the material, we have the players. Nigeria have one of the most probably the present best African football of the year is from Nigeria, and we have several of them. But we don't have the team. We don't know how to form a team, and that's our challenge. And I will not be surprised we will find it difficult to even qualify from this group again.
All right, that's that. Let's move away from that now to, of course, talking about coaches. Of course, less than 2 months after his resignation as Super Eagles coach, Finidi George has found a new job, and this time with Rivers United, who have appointed him as their new head coach after the sacking of Stanley Guber. Of course, he's scheduled to be unveiled today. I think
Already.
unveiled already. Yeah, a good one for Finidi. If you ask me, no time to
To waste.
to waste. You move on with your life. And of course, in recent times, a lot of Nigerians have applauded him. Look, you can't treat a legend like that, diminish me like that, appoint me a head coach, then suddenly, just because of some bad performances, you wanted to demote him to an assistant coach, and of course, and he showed that he was not desperate for the job. I mean, Finidi, by every ramification, is a big boy, So I don't think the whatever NFF were paying him was a big concern to him. So and he walked away from the job, and yeah, he is back again. At least he has proven himself in the NPFL, won the league with Enyimba last season, and even the season before his appointment with Enyimba were not doing badly. They finished second. Don't forget that he had led the team almost to the end of the league before his assistant took over. So credit to him for that, and now back with Rivers United, who are also former champions. So I think kudos to him.
Yeah, kudos to Finidi George. And just like this, Finidi George, I think either you like him or dislike him. There's one thing you can't take it away from him, and he has also proved to Nigeria that yes, it's something that will find it difficult or almost impossible to get done in this kind of Nigeria. Finidi George has so a very difficult example that is unlike Nigeria.
Yeah.
You hardly see a Nigerian resign their position whatever any situation that is thrown at them. But if just like you say, you appointed him as a head coach, and even though because of series of bad performance to perform, when every Nigerian were not comfortable with him, and the most disheartening thing about it is that the day you get to know of the plan to hire a technical coach from the media.
Yeah.
And that particular day, he had a meeting with the NFL with the minister. They never discussed with him.
Exactly.
They asked him what is his plan on how to move forward. He itemized and the plan and what they need to do to move on, but only for him to read on the media that there's a plan to hire a new technical coach and then reduce him to just an assistant coach. And yes, well, hell with you. I'm not desperate about your job, but ordinarily, there are some Nigerians who say, well, let me just manage assistant. At least I'll be entitled to my salary. I'll be entitled to my allowance. But he clearly showed that he's not desperate about this job. Yes, it goes with you. But sometimes it depends how you treat yourself and how you manage your situation. You can be done and all of a sudden you can become a hero. He has proved that he is a man. He has proved that he's a man of his action, he's a man of his word. And just like you say, he's a legend. He's not just a small boy. And he has shown that yes, he can move on.
Yeah. All right, moving from that, of course, yesterday also Super Falcons released, Coach Waldron actually released his list for the Olympics. Of course, a lot of familiar names there, the likes of Chiamaka Nadozie, Tochukwu, Olehi for goalkeepers. Of course, so many notable names, of course, but some names missing, the likes of Onomi Ebi not being called up, and I think one other person too who is not in the squad. Well, I think Radu has his reasons for not calling up Ebi. Well, could be due to age, but sometimes we say sometimes you need the experience of these players, like the case of Ahmed Musa, who keeps making it to the national team.
At least to give a dressing room support for to the team. But we're looking at the fair to her. He has proved us well.
Yeah.
He has done Nigeria proud. He has run Nigeria well. But I think it is a time. Sometimes when it is better to leave the stage when the ovation is right. It's louder than the. If you're looking at the last World Cup, he was never called to action. He was just part of the team. But I think he has played his due, and it's an opportunity. I think it's time for him to give a space for the young one. And but one surprising thing about we are beginning to take another season trade that we have taken for the male team and already who you are already suffering with. I don't know whether you notice. If you're looking at that list, out of the 18 players, no single player is from the home base. The only home-based team, the only home-based players from Nasarawa United and River Agent were on the standby list. So no single player from the Nigerian Premier Women League make up the teams of the Olympic. Before now, 80%, if not 90% of the Super Falcon players are always a home-based player. Now we are now beginning to take that thread of the male team when we hardly have a single player from the domestic play in the Super Eagle. Super Falcon is following the same trend now. All the invited players, all the players are all foreign-based players. No single player no even single from the league champion. The only player on the standby, the National United players and the River Angel players. And another surprises in the world. Another very promising youngster, Monday Gift, that is also placed on the standby list. I don't know why they have to place Monday Gift on the standby list. Monday Gift has very instrumental, very professional, and a very young athletic player, and he's very instrumental. But I don't know what informed Rwanda to place her on the standby list. And at the same time, Francis Odega is also missing on that list. Sumono also the player that was also missing on that list. These are some of the notable players that have discovered they are not on that list. But I don't know what is the reason. We heard there was an issue between Odega and the coach, but we don't know why that's right. But however, the coach reserve every right to choose to invite the player he feel can execute the matches.
All right, away from that now to some other news where former Super Eagles captain Sunday Olise said this generation of Super Eagles players lack respect. Of course, this is coming on the heels of Osimhen's recent outburst concerning coach Finidi George. And Olise clearly said, during their time, none of them ever disrespected players who were before them, the 90 generation, the likes of the Segun Odegbami, Christian Chukwu. And like he rightly said, till date, none of them called Segun or Christian Chukwu by their first names, showing them respect. But he said, recently, players of this generation, they speak to their coaches the way they want, call out former players. In fact, even recently, there was a case of Mikel Obi, talking bad about, Sunday Olise. And Sunday Olise, rightly said, there was a time when Odegbami even did an article that didn't put him in good light. He said he didn't go to the media. He called him privately, and they spoke about it, and, and the matter was resolved. But these players of this time, the first thing they do is run to social media, run to the media, say all kinds of things about ex-players, legends, and, coaches, which according to him, said shouldn't be.
If you watch that interview, it was a very lengthy interview, and just like he spoke a whole lot about issues concerning the national team and the current attitudes of the player. He also mentioned about how some players of the current squad don't even deserve to play in the national team. And at the same time, if you're looking at the same time, just like he made a very critical point. For you to even raise your shoulder that I'm a big boy, you need to have first and foremost assess yourself. What have you done for this country?
Exactly. What have you won?
What have you won for the country? Yes. It's not just about kicking the ball.
Exactly.
That in my day I've already achieved it. And he said before you can be described as a legend. And I agree with him. Like the lack of Odegbami Sherman Shukus and the lack of Odegbami Sherman Shukus and the rest, they were the first Nigerians to win African Cup of Nations, and they done it on the home soil. By that standard and by everything, you can describe as a league, and all of them were often all playing in the local league there. And then come to their own era, they were the first set to also won it outside Nigeria. So by every standard, you can also describe them as a legend. But the present cruise of the who have yet to won anything and begin to show shooter. And in as much as looking at the interview, Osimhen saga versus Osimhen, whatever way or no matter how Finidi was strong, but the most annoying thing is that Osimhen did not even hear it directly from
Olise. In fact, there was nowhere it was quoted that Finidi said this.
It was just a hearsay that somebody come say that this is what Finidi said about you at the meeting. But you never heard it from the coach. You never
Exactly.
heard from the coach. But also before you know, you went wild. You started attacking the coach from on the social media. Even when some people are advising you to cool down, you refuse to cool down. And I'm looking at even his own relationship with the Mikel Obi and so like that. In as much as some of us were, although sometimes it is good to listen to somebody before you crucify somebody. I say don't be fast to judge somebody by their action or by anything. Ask them why they have to take that action. Some of us, including myself, first to listen the way and manner he threw out Yamas and Mikel Obi out after the national team. But looking at that interview, I have a retake because he explained at length that he accorded Mikel Obi a due respect to the extent that he had to drive, went to his club, visited him, asked him to come to discuss. Then at that time, him and Victor Moses were playing at the same time. He said he invited them to the but Moses show up, but Mikel refused to show up. But by every standard, yes, as is your national team coach, and apart from this, you're also senior colleague, you're a player before you. By every reason, you have to accord him that respect, even for any other team. But the only difference what I know difference that between the players of the past and the current players that the current players has so much money. When the players of the past don't have. Maybe where we have much money in your pocket. If you get not taking, you can go wild.
Yeah, all right. Let's move away from that now to some foreign news where, of course, Argentina has unveiled their squad for the Olympics, and of course, the likes of Lionel Messi and some other notable names are missing from that. But the likes of Julian Alvarez of Man City, Enzo Fernandez, okay, was not into the likes of Otamendi, in there for, but for Messi, you have to understand this Olympic, I mean, he has won it, before, I mean, won everything. So, I mean, considering his fixture conjunction, currently he's at the Copa America. After the Copa America, the MLS will be on. So, there's actually no need because, I mean, what is there left for Lionel Messi to prove again? Nothing really.
Obviously, the Messi don't even deserve to be on the
Exactly.
on the Olympics. The Olympics is just it's a space to have to be left for the younger boys to make their impact. He has paid his due and he doesn't need to prove anything at anywhere.
Exactly.
So it was the Olympic coach Mascherano that promoted the idea that he would have loved to have Messi in the squad, and Messi still don't care really well. Well, I respect you for the honor, but looking at the condition and looking at the I can't play at the Olympic event, and obviously it was understand that he was excluded from that list.
Right. So to other news now, of course, United manager Ten Hag has signed a new contract extension at the club till 2026. The previous deal which he signed was in 2022 and due to expire next year 25, but they've extended his contract at the end of the season. There were speculations even before the end of the season that he might be fired, but after the season, the board had to do a review and saw that, well, at least you got us a trophy, so why not give the man another chance and maybe give him some more materials and let's see what happens. And for me, for some of us who, are United fans, I felt, right now, how many coaches are out there on the market who are good? Whichever you like it, when this man in his first season, he finished third, qualified for the Champions League, won the trophy. Second season, still won the trophy. So you can say, and like he rightly said, in 2 years he won back-to-back trophies. Don't forget that before he came, United had gone 6 years without winning, not even the Carabao Cup. But in 2 years, he has given them trophies, the Carabao Cup, stepping up to the FA Cup. Who knows what he might win next year? Don't forget that United are also in the Europa Cup. So there are 5 trophies next season on offer. So who knows which he might win? He might be stepping up to the Premier League, and who knows?
Well, beautiful analysis and beautiful scenario you analyze it. So that is the word. Sometimes don't be surprised about what happened at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
Nobody either United fans or not United fans, nobody have expected that Ten Hag is going to keep his job at the end of last season. But unfortunately, just one victory at the end of the season, the FA Cup, the whole thing changed, and he has to keep his job for another season, at least for another 2 seasons. But one thing that just like say, sometimes you may be winning. You may be just like during the Super Eagles, Pesero, Genero. Genero were not losing matches, but Nigeria were not comfortable with the way that manner they were winning those matches. So, but looking by the standard, looking by the record, Ten Hag may not have going badly, going by the record, but
No,
most
but,
of
no,
mo-
but last season was a terrible season for United.
but most of fans were not comfortable
Yeah.
the manner at which that is no longer the United we
Yeah,
all
it
know.
was a terrible season.
Even though some of us are the outside United fans, that fear that United command, when that fear at Old Trafford that United command when they are playing United is tactically missing. Particularly the defeat against Galatasaray, even capping it all. So, but it's good that sometimes you need to review the reason and why
Yeah,
they done it.
exactly.
And it's good that the board have to look at their board, look at the record, the record before him, and what he has done in the last 2 years, and then
Because
decided,
sometimes,
let's give him opportunity.
because sometimes changing of coaches does not. Because even if you look at the case of Arteta when he came in, back-to-back seasons, Arsenal finished 8th, if I'm not mistaken. And so many Arsenal fans even then had called for a sack, but somehow the board stayed with him. And look at how Arsenal.
Arsenal job is
exactly
bigger than Arteta.
now in the last 2 seasons, finishing back to second position, back to back. So who knows what he might even do? But take it so sometimes. Not some clubs when you have one bad season, then the next thing is no, the coach must go. Just like in the case of Bayern, you need also Bayern also who sacked a coach in the middle of the season when the season was still on, and you ask the coach to leave.
And the same coach takes the final of the Champions League, and now you're asking him to stay by. See, you are looking around the world. Up to now, you can't get a new coach.
Everybody who Bayern approached said, no, we are not coming because we know your system. One bad match or 2 bad games, and you say we should go. And imagine who they ended up with. So
well, you are absolutely ended up with just a rookies.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's see how what the rookie is going to give them at the end of the day. But and it is good, just like you say. And these are some of the things club like Chelsea also need to learn.
Exactly.
Because up till now, I'm not comfortable with the way and manner they hire Pochettino. Pochettino may not have started well at the end of the season, but if you're looking toward the end of the season, he ended well. And it says he started winning matches. But he could have given opportunities. He came in. He needed to understand it. Yes, he has played in the Premier League as a Tottenham manager, but Tottenham is different from Chelsea. He needed to understand the ground, and most of the players he was working with, they are all new players. They also come to the team new players. So he needed to establish relationship with the players. But when they said, you see how the players started crying. Most of the players went out and said, "No, this is not good." But Chelsea also need to learn from other clubs how, like the example of Manchester United, the example of Arsenal, you have to play. But sometimes you need to be patient to the coach and allow the coach. And also, once better coach is out there.
All right. Quickly, let's take a look at, of course, round of 16 matches took place during the week. We'll have a look at that quickly. Of course, Switzerland, nobody saw this coming. Knocked out Italy 2-0. It was Germany 2-0 over Denmark. England, narrow escape against Slovakia 2-1, and then Spain, of course, so far the best playing team in this tournament, 4-1 against Georgia. France 1-0 over Belgium. Portugal 0-0. They had to take penalties for them to go through. Romania lost 3-0 to Netherlands, while Austria lost 2-1, 1-2 to Turkey. Actually, let's quickly go and look at these results.
Yeah, fantastic result. There's no more surprising the result except that there's Switzerland, Italy, even Belgium, France. Looking at Belgium, they have the talent, but look at the way the manner of the player.
Most people had expected France to go through in that one.
We expected France to beat. We expected that we were even surprised that the score is just 1-0. And then so they know apart from this Switzerland against Italy, which is the most surprising result. Everybody expected whoever progress to the next round. But coming to the quarterfinal, this is where it's going to be a very tough one for the team. For example, like the quarterfinal match, if I have an opinion or the organizer to have the choice, they would have postponed.
There are actually two finals before finals. They
would have postponed Spain versus Germany and Portugal, France, because these are potential finalists. But unfortunately, two of them has to give way between now. We have to give way tomorrow. But looking at Spain and Germany, it's going to be a very tough one for either side. Spain has proved that they are a team to beat in this tournament. Very athletic, very energetic, and very young squad. But Germany have the experience and they have the age on their side, and have the experience.
Of course, and home support.
But one thing stand against Germany in this match. For 36 years, Germany have not beat one against Spain in European Championship, in the major championship. So at either Germany are going to end that going to bring that gist tomorrow is another different thing. For 36 years, they have never. If you recall, 2000 in they lost the final of 2008 against the same Spain.
Yeah.
Then even the semi-final World Cup in South Africa, they also lost against the same Spain. 2012, they also lost against the same Spain. So they has always come short against the Spain when it comes to the European Championship. But for 36 years, they have not. The last time they beat Spain was 1988. But either they are going to bring that gist tomorrow is another different ball. For France and Portugal, to me, is a different. It's going to be a very tough. But if you're looking at the side of the squad, if you look at the side of the squad and individually, you want to give it to the France. But looking at the way the France has played so far, and if you look at the France are yet to score a very clinical goal. They have been aided by his own goal that have progressed them to this level so far. Spain or Portugal also.
I think if you say individual, I think even the Portugal squad, I think Portugal has one of the best squads in these Euros, even on an individual basis. Because when you look across board, apart from Ronaldo, you have a Bruno Fernandes, you have a Bernardo Silva, you have a Joey Cancelo. In fact, it's a loaded squad. You have, their keeper who stopped 3 penalties, one of the finest keepers in Europe. So for me, I think it's going to be and like you said about France is yet to score a goal in open play. He had to take a penalty. So France themselves have wobbled and stumbled to the quarterfinals, and like you said, it's going to really be a tough one.
No, it's going to be a tough one, and sometimes scoring 3 penalty in a particular match may not be that match, but you may progress to the next match.
Exactly. Sure.
We saw the example in South Africa when South African goalkeeper scored 4 penalty against the Cape Verde. When they come against Nigeria, he couldn't even stop he couldn't stop anyone. So sometimes it may not give you a credential to progress to the next round, but it's going to be a very tough one for any side can progress to the next round. But it could be if you have would have loved to see these 2 matches in the semi-final match.
Exactly.
But now England, Switzerland, a lot of people have said that Switzerland may have more advantage against England. But looking at the squad and everything, England, yes, they are yet to quickly justify their individual skill, individual personality on the team. They have the squad, they have the players. But what is still missing in England is the team cohesion. And Southgate need to manage on how to devise a different means to tackle the more athletic and
because Switzerland knocking out defending champions Italy should be
it's
something.
Added motivation, and at the same time the way England has played so far. I think England look more underdog in this match than the Switzerland, but it's still some like I've said it before this season that I will not be surprised if I see England in the final. Sometimes it may be played badly, warmly, and then you get to see how they manage to survive Slovakia at the last minute. They're almost out. It take Belgium 95 minutes basket kick to bring it to the match, and then they progress. So they can be wobbling and then go to the final. Netherlands, Turkey, one who is okay, Netherlands will progress, but sometimes football is tricky.
Because those matches, Spain, Germany comes up tomorrow, 5 p.m. while the second match will be 8 p.m. Then on Saturday, it will be England, Switzerland, and Netherlands versus Turkey. So we'll keep an eye on those ones, and hopefully on Monday we'll give you a complete review of those matches and other sporting events. Well, with that, we call it a day on today's episode of the program. Do join us once again on Monday for another interesting episode of Sports Orbit. Thank you for being in the studio once again today.
Thank you, Asho.
Until we come your way, do have a wonderful time. My name is Afa Acho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.